Oh wait, Filton
versus
NFL Academy. Take one. X's and O's podcast. Ready?
I'm actually going to use that, but yeah.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the X's and O's podcast. It's your boy, Mr. Selenkay. And if you haven't already, I'm pleading, I'm begging, I'm asking kindly, and I'm telling, please go and vote for the X's and O's team on the British Podcast Awards. We've been nominated for Best Sports Podcast. That's in the whole of Britain. You're mad.
God damn.
You also have the opportunity to be voted in as the listener's choice. So all you have to do is go to any of our socials, click the link in our bios, search the X's and O's team, vote, and confirm your vote via logging into your inbox. So please go ahead and do that. In the studio with me today, we have Danny Tinker.
Hello.
We have Snwman.
What's really good, peeps?
Mr. International.
Mr. International. Bro, we're even lucky that he's in the studio.
Thank you for taking time
out.
Thank
you for taking out
Listen,
your busy schedule and that.
Listen. I'm making an appearance in it.
As long as the agent has signed this enough, you know what I mean?
No charge.
We got the Bronze Bomber.
Ah.
And we got G Money, the voice of reason.
What's going on?
Cool beans, guys. This has been an age-old debate, and I thought no better time than now, seeing as there's not much to talk about, nothing much is happening in British American football news. But yeah, the people them want to know, man.
Can I just say before we start,
Yeah.
Paris was giving me, when we were talking about this on the group chat,
Yeah.
Paris was giving me the
And
most.
then he bowled it today.
He didn't want the smoke.
He bowled it today.
Where you at, Paris, man?
Where you at, P?
Where you at, Paris?
Where you at, P?
You can't defend yourself.
The lifelong debate.
On the
NFL
video,
Academy.
Can we just insert the meme of Paris drinking tea, just looking down?
Right,
We just put that in.
Yeah, we actually got a picture of that
Send
too.
you a
Right?
picture.
NFL Academy versus Filton Pride.
Mm.
What are you guys telling me?
Boy.
So, Filton have obviously been going for a lot longer than the NFL Academy has.
Yes.
And if you've been tuning into our socials, you would have seen that we recently put out an interview with Tinker and 4 guys from the academy who, 3 international guys. And
One of them was
from
on
UK.
smoke, boy.
I think one of them was on some serious smoke, but I guess they got the talk to back. They got the credentials to back it up.
Yeah.
The academy, what was created last year.
Last year. Yeah,
I guess it would have been in the workings for some time.
Yeah.
It's very closed. I get it's connected with the NFL, so it's very reputable, but it's very closed in terms of like the ins of the actual setup, unless you're one of the people that are in there. Like Filton on the other side have been going for a while. They've got you can look at their credentials and see the guys that they've sent to D1, JUCO, guys like that, have actually made it and done well for themselves, starting at Filton, or even guys that go for Tinker yourself. You've been to Filton, no? Did you start there or you moved there?
No.
After you moved there from
I played for played one BAFA junior season.
Right.
I started in February.
Right.
Found out about that academy in June. Applied in June.
How did you find out though?
My friend told me.
Oh, okay,
it was there's an academy. Right. And then it was just they play American high school. I was what?
And that's the other thing. They play against some good competition.
Serious competition.
The last few games I'm aware of, off the top of my head, Birmingham they played. I think they beat him pretty convincingly. Twice, back to back. Okay. I know there was some talk about.
I think they played Coventry Uni as well.
Wasn't it after Explosion?
So no, I think they played them before Explosion or around that time anyway. And then the Birmingham Lions came out. Guys, don't fight me, man. But they came out and they were like, I was our seconds and our thirds.
That's what I was trying to get at.
And then Filton were like, cool, let's go again then.
Yeah.
And then they beat them the second time as well. And
wait.
And this ain't no one getting at no one. It's there for you.
Yeah, it's there.
So it's weird because the academy is kind of, like I said, it's closed, but clearly they got some decent links, obviously, being connected to that. You've seen the people that they've had come in and coach them, ranging from FA all the way to OC, who's this 2-time Super Bowl winner with the Giants, and obviously
Jerry Rice going not long ago as well.
Jerry Rice, bruv, they have the hookups.
Yeah.
Fact, because they're obviously linked to the NFL,
yeah.
so that's a given. So for them kids, what an opportunity, to be honest.
100%.
What an opportunity. I don't know how. I know they train at the New River Stadium as their base.
Yes.
I know Tony Allen is a head coach there.
Yes, Tony Allen's head coach. Yeah.
Obviously, they've got certain other coaches that are.
They've got.
You would know more.
They've got loads of coaches at each positional. Then they've also got trainers as well. By trainers, that could be a physio or people that sort of help them out with nutrition, as well as people that help them out physically train as well. So so if you're not a coach, you're just called a trainer, but a trainer has various titles, just like an NFL team.
As well as, I know, I don't know how recent, but they things down to helmet fittings. I think they had Zenith fly out.
No, not Zenith.
Was it not Zenith?
Riddell, I think it was,
in France.
No,
I think it was Riddell. It was Riddell because Riddell came in for the NFL coaching thing.
The
so basically, they came in, loads of helmets. The design is nice and everything. Fitted all these guys out, man.
Literally,
nicely.
If you want to talk about
the NFL experience,
if these kids are living it, man.
Yeah.
So if you're part of that, and I know the other thing I want to mention, this is obviously the first thing. This is the first of its kind for young players. I know you have the academy.
Yeah.
But in terms of like links or direct links, you could say, with association with the NFL, this is the closest we've had.
Yeah.
So these kids that are part of it they're living it. And well done to you guys for getting in and take everything you can get.
100%.
But this is obviously the first, so it's a dummy run. I want to say not a dummy run, but it's the first. So anything that isn't necessarily correct or
they'll learn from it, and
because I've heard from a few guys certain things about how it works and certain things they are happy with, aren't happy with. But like anything, it's the first. So once they've done this first year or season out of the way, I'm sure they're gonna improve on it, make it even better than what it is now. But if we're strictly talking about, bear in mind that they haven't played any games, the academy kids, NFL academy kids, sorry, whether who's the better squad, the NFL academy kids or ballers, should we say, or the Filton Pride. I'm inclined to go with Pride personally, only because, and you could say it's an unfair question actually, because they haven't played games at NFL academy guys, they haven't. But if you look at the fundamentals of the game, Filton have been around for longer. They've played more games. They've played good caliber of opposition, and they've done very well for themselves. And they've got the stats to back it up in terms of how many people they've sent. To play ball overseas, not to talk of the US. But then you have to look at the level of coaching. If the NFL academy are having these superstars and coaching with all these credentials, coaching them, surely you would say that it should have a direct correlation on the skill and ability of these players. Not always, but being passed down.
George, a wise man once told me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I'm telling you, at the end of the day, what Coach Benjamin Harrod has done for Filton, I don't think it can be replicated.
You know?
If Tony Allen and whomever is trying to do the NFL Academy don't look at the remedy or the ingredients anywhere else, go to Benjamin Harrod. He is the benchmark. You don't need to reinvent the wheel. There should be satellite academies like his.
I've been screaming that. I've been screaming that.
Exactly, for a long time. Because he's been able to balance education and sport.
That's the other thing.
In a way that many have failed at trying to do. You know, and previously I spoke to him about his philosophy and his mantra. He tells them straight, #back to work. Every day they work.
They train 4 times a week.
4 times a week.
Aside the education side as well,
Every day they work. The problem he had initially was getting Baffa to find him refs to play the game, because they wanted to play games. They still want to play games. They're on this smoke. So if NFL Academy are ready, let's get this smoke, because I know some of them are talking.
You know what's crazy?
You know
what's crazy? I know he's spoken to Coach Ben, because when I caught up with him as well, he said we're ready.
Right, their players are saying the same thing.
He said, like, I've never seen something like, if I was a coach, and someone told me the NFL Academy are here now and they want to play, I'm thinking,
let's go.
Bruv, no, I'll be shook, bruv. I was like, NFL Academy?
You would hear that and you would think.
Do you know what? And the only reason why I'd be worried, is because Tony Allen is the head coach of NFL Academy. Tony Allen, Let's look at Tony Allen's track record. Comes in, takes the South London Renegades X amount of years ago, South London Renegades get old enough to now be adult players. Cobras. Forgive me, Cobras. Cobras become old enough to now be the London Warriors. London Warriors are in Division 2. London Warriors are in Division 1. London Warriors are in the Premiership.
Dominated.
But can we just emphasise that Division 2 to Division 1, Division 1 to Prem was effortless, pretty much.
Quite literally, They anyone that was in their way, any team that came in their way, they handled to the point where we're seeing them in the Prem now handling teams. Not like, like that
not
was
like work light.
They're dealing with teams. So I'm thinking now, Tony Allen just done it with the South London, the London Cobras. He's just taken some young boys, NFL Academy. What's to say with his CV and the coaches he's now bringing in? So he's got some of the best coaches in the UK coaching there.
Plus the NFL connections.
So the guys that fly in, they flew in a gym from one of the NFL teams that these guys are working with currently right now. Their programs are not programs that you're going to find anywhere apart from the NFL. So in my opinion, I'm thinking he's just done it by himself. Now he's got the backing of the NFL. Now he's got the backing of some serious coaching staff. One of the coaching staffs, I can't say who it is, he lives outside of London. He comes in on a Monday, stays in a hotel Monday to Friday, then goes home. Like he's that good of a coach that Tony Allen was like, we need to get this guy in to come and coach these guys. So I'm thinking he's done it before. He's got this new team now. He's got the NFL backing. He's got these serious coaches. Why can't he do it again?
Well, the NFL don't put their name on anything. It's a bit.
It's a bit.
This academy kind of came out of nowhere.
You had to, and I don't know if Filton do trials or you might can correct me if they're wrong, but the NFL Academy done a mini draft. That's unheard of. They done
players doing running and jumping. Anyone can do that. That's
exactly that. You're saying anyone can do it, but anyone can do it. They took the top. They took the top guys that can do it.
That's fine.
One of the first, bruv. They're taking
long jumpers. Anybody can do that.
Bruv, they have. Wait, listen. They have an Olympic judo champion on their roster, bruv.
I hear what you man are saying, but for me, there's a difference between preparing for war and going to war, innit?
There you go.
Bristol have been to war. Now don't get me wrong. Like you're right. NFL have got these mad coaches, these mad equipment, like everything, and even the quality of athlete at the end of the day eventually might be better just because they're exposed to all of that. But again, we've seen it. You can have a team full of athletes, but that's not a winning team, bro.
Trust me.
So as far as I'm concerned, Bristol are holding it now. Bristol have got the badges. Bristol put in the work. Until NFL Academy actually goes out there, puts on a helmet and pads. Gets on the field,
smacks them in the mouth.
Until then, Bristol Pride are running it because they got the proof.
It's not a new thing either. Like even in the preseason I went to Filton, there was like a social media guideline thing, and I was thinking like, what's all this? And Cadell was like, he told me like, oh yeah, there was like some little mini beef on Facebook between the Blitz and the Warriors guys back in like 2011 against the Blitz guys. London and Bristol has had like it's low key been like a bit. There's been some tensions from early, so like now the academy's here. It's not a surprise that there's going to be things there, but you got I think you need to give the academy a couple more years, like before you play Filton, because Filton's like 10 years plus deep now, in the game, tried and tested, international players, 2 squads, massive setup.
I don't think they need a couple of years.
Stop. As far as I'm concerned, NFL Academy. Don't talk too much, because Benjamin Harold has been doing. He's been doing this for 10 years, man. I hear that. That guy's been doing this for years. They're gonna listen to this and be like, "What?"
We're pouring oil into the bash.
I'm a humble guy. Do you guys? I love humility. Yeah. When I'm beaten, I know I'm beaten. I'll be the first to admit that. Yeah? What I don't like is people coming up and say, "Listen," and I like to learn from people who have done it before me, and I'm not shooting my own horn. I am happy to soak up the sponge from whoever if it's going to guarantee me success.
Yeah, true.
I doubt Tony Allen and all those NFL guys have even had a conversation with Benjamin Harold. If they have, maybe 1 or 2 about certain things. But other than that, but he has a template.
Yeah, he's got a recipe.
And respect that. You have to respect that. This guy, and last time I checked, this guy took 27 people to the NCAA, whether it's between Div 1 and Div 3.
Yeah.
Fact. You could go and check the Insta stories. I did. So go and check the Insta story before you talk. At the end of the day, these guys are different athletes. These guys are bashing teams in the Prem. As far as I'm concerned, most of the Bristol Power players, the ones that ball out, play for the Bristol Aztecs.
Right, so let me jump in there.
Sorry to put you in there. Even before that, a lot of the Bristol guys that don't go America, some of them are killing it in GFL. Look at Calvin Stitt. That if you see what he done at Algo Comets, bro.
Mad.
Like, if you see that boy's got big things. Who else? There's that Martin Vamanu. I think he just got signed as an O-lineman, bro. There's a couple of guys like, it doesn't matter what route you look at it, whether it's Europe or going to the States, like them man are putting there's work on the CV, bro.
Like I will jump so quickly, based on what you were just saying, you just reminded me of a few things, and now I'm gonna struggle to remember them all. I had bare point. No, it's cool. So like one of the things I want to say is let's not forget that the NFL Academy guys, a lot, if not all of them, majority of them played ball before they went to the academy. You know what I mean? It's not like we're talking about the academy
random
being
kids.
Random kids.
Exactly that.
These guys are still ballers.
And if they're not footballers, a lot of them are from other sports. They're
and they'll be at the top of their sports
yeah.
as well. So
Exactly.
it's not like the NFL Academy are just like these wannabes off the street. They're still ballers, right? For one, I think we should be. I'm now starting to think. I think I'm scared because in a good way, because I think when they are ready to play the academy, right, just couple everything together. I know Filton have been in the war. They've got the badges. They've got all that. They've got the awards. They've got the accolades. They've got it. The academy kids have come from playing ball. The majority of them, they're being coached by the best in the nation, plus whatever they can get from the NFL. They got the gear and all that. But by the time they're ready to come and play, if you couple all of that together, I don't know how many times do we know how many times they train the academy? I don't necessarily know.
Every day.
Every day.
They go to the workout, to the gym. They can either go in the morning or afternoon, but they train every day.
Right.
Well, at least 5 times a week. I don't know about Saturday and Sunday.
Where did they study? Barnet College, you know?
Barnet Southgate. Barnet Southgate.
Yeah, where I went to school. But like, so by the time the academy guys, and this is the thing, I know we want them to play, but I feel like it's. I don't know how willy-nilly it is. It's not easy for them to just go and play, because I feel like it's obviously they got a specific program going. And I don't think they'll just allow the academy to play when they're ready to do their friendlies or whatever it is. They'll do them, and I'm sure they've probably got it scheduled somewhere at some point.
There's definitely
when they feel they're ready, they'll obviously go. But I think we should be a little bit wary, because yes, Pride are all that, and they're obviously on smoke. But look at what the NFL Academy guys are getting, the coaching that they're getting, the experience that they're getting. Like the weight room, the connections, the network, and whoever knows whatever calls and classes they're having in addition to everything else, right? So by the time they're ready to come play against Filton, I think it's probably going to be one of the better games that we've seen in a lot. Better than some of the Prem games as well. Probably better than half the Prem games as well.
Yeah. But it's going to wash Baffer out.
But hold on, I want keep that point.
Okay.
Another thing I wanted to say about the Pride guys is what Remy was basically just saying. Like, those guys that I've been playing in Europe, those guys come from Europe. A lot of them come from Europe. If you look at the video we recently posted from, I think one of them was Lays, one is Tom Phillips, wide receiver, who used to play for Southampton, who's actually the one who was saying, you know, like, we're ready, like, we're the best academy around, we're the first ones to do it, and we're ready to give the academy a smoke. Like, he said it live on camera, like, these are confident.
He didn't call anybody out though. Can we just make that clear? T's and C's. He didn't call anybody specifically out. He just said the academy are ready.
The academy.
Take
But we
from that
know
what you will.
there's a bit of...
He said we're the best academy.
Maybe they're ready
in
for
England.
Bournemouth Bobcats. I don't know.
It's the best academy in Europe. Check the stats. I said check the stats. We're the best.
Said it with his
Man
chest
had his
beat.
shirt, like, and credit to them, look, they're ready. They obviously know what they're about. But the fact that, bear in mind, our league over here is amateur, yeah, and we're not great compared to the other European countries, and we shouldn't ever compare, in my opinion, because we're nowhere near there. For guys of young ages to be coming over here to go strictly to Filton when they can get amazing development in Europe has to say something, no?
There you go.
Like, does that not hold weight?
There you go.
But there's also a thing of qualifications. Some of the qualifications in, I want to say Denmark is one of the countries. The US colleges don't recognise them.
Yeah, right.
So they have to come to a different country. But they could go to multiple places in Europe.
Okay.
But they do still choose Filton, you're right.
So sometimes it's because of the academic side.
Yeah,
definitely.
Well, it's both. It's definitely both.
But the fact that, and that's another thing, because obviously the NFL Academy obviously offers that as well. I do know, I think from what I've been told, that the Academy doesn't offer the same sort of credentials and a number of modules, let's say, or topics as...
It wouldn't be the academy, it would be the college.
The college, sorry.
But it would be a little bit of both, because the courses you pick at the NFL Academy need to coincide with the days in which your timetable for the NFL Academy. So
Still early
and
days,
even just on the
hand in
academic
hand.
side, I know in Bristol you can actually do degree courses.
I was just going to
as
say,
well.
the recently come out.
It's like if you're a player, you're thinking, all right, cool.
Yeah.
NFL Academy. It all just depends what you're trying to go.
I guess you could say, in terms of like which path you decide to take, well, it's different, because the academy you can apply for, the Bristol Academy you can apply for. You can't necessarily apply for the NFL Academy, or can you?
No,
I think you can.
Yeah,
You can
there's
apply.
tryouts
Yeah.
actually. I went on specifically. I was looking
you can
on the website, and I think there was meant to be tryouts at some point in August. I think.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
As in August coming.
Yeah, the August coming, but obviously with the current situation, I don't know.
As they get people that move up or out of the NFL Academy, they need to do tryouts to get some more students back in, so and recruit more.
But
so
I think
it's just like any college, you finish your GCSEs or whatnot, then you apply to go to either or. But I think for me personally, going to either or is brilliant. If I was a young kid and I loved American football,
Yeah.
I'd apply to both.
Yeah.
There's nothing wrong with going to both.
Yeah.
I think today's sort of debate was who would win in the game, sort of thing. Not trying to influence where anyone decides to go. In my
or who's
opinion.
the better team? Because to be fair, they do that themselves.
Exactly that.
They literally do that themselves. We don't even need
Yeah.
to tell you that. But like you said, I think the main thing we should like kind of highlight is it's great.
Yeah, it's
For
good that we
these
have it in
young
the first
kids,
place.
It's amazing. Like
We need more of them.
Imagine this is like you're saying. If you could replicate, and I think there might have been some talk about that. If you could replicate what the Filton Academy has around the UK, could you imagine? But think about being a young kid on the come up here at whatever age, 14, 15, 16. You're thinking, oh, I want to play ball, but where can I go to like give me the best chance?
Yeah.
You have the option to now apply for the NFL Academy, or you can go and apply for Filton, where you can actually get a degree as well. Like, can you imagine having these opportunities?
I think a big thing that separates these two programs in terms of under 19, because obviously Filton's got over 19s as well in their team. I think that's important to remember as well. If we talk about them playing,
that's true.
they have to be in that age limit. But
yeah.
Filton play their games like around uni season, don't they? Now,
Yeah, now they
So
do because no one, they haven't got an age group that can play them in the country.
so they've always played outside of summer, and the reason for that is a lot of under 19 teams play in summer, which is when GCSE and A-level exams are, stuff like that. So I've said it before on a podcast where a guy got a concussion a day before his exams.
Flipping out.
It was it's a bit choppy like that, and that's how you lose a lot of players. A lot of players are studying, so they can't come to practice. They're like, I've got an exam tomorrow. How can I come to practice when I've got an exam tomorrow? I've got 3 exams today. I've got all of this, and there's just a crazy hectic schedule. But now these academies, they're playing when there's no exams.
Yeah.
So they're playing that time, and also we play in summer, by the way, I believe, so we don't clash with rugby union, because a lot of guys play both sports.
I didn't know that.
And especially a lot of under 19 players, they'll play for their club and their school, and maybe they'll play for their district or whatever it is, however it's divided now. They'll play for that, then they'll come and play this. But the academies, these guys are committed to this sport. They've committed to this sport. They're like, right, I want to go all in with this. And that's what they're doing. And that's a big thing as well. We still need the under 19 teams. Not every team could have this. Because guys will watch the Super Bowl in January, then they'll come like, oh, they're mid-season or they're end of the season. And that's how a lot of people discover the sport, like through the Super Bowl.
Following the hype. Wow, I don't know. Like, obviously, if you're looking at it from let's say, put yourself in the shoes of a younger guy or girl who wants to play the sport. Now you have opportunities, because back in the day, even 2-3 seasons ago, apart from going to join you go from juniors to youth to juniors and to adults. It was strictly kind of UK based, apart from if you had the knowledge of the European teams. Whereas now there's the promotion out there. There's obviously us trying to push everything that we can push, as well as all the other outlets and people doing their bit. That option to actually sit there and go, okay, well, again, it could be dependent on academics, whether you want to go that way or we'll go that way, depending on what's offered and how you can tailor it around your personal experience. To actually be able to say, well, now I've got an accredited NFL academy with tie. I mean, that alone, the title alone is a big pull for some people, I think.
100%.
It's a huge pull for some people.
And I think you get like a lot of people from Europe, or everywhere, trying to get into that college just because it is here. Like, again, where do you have the NFL academy? So
and it's going to get to a stage where it won't be a case of we should get more of these, spotlight academies. We need them. We need them. Not only does it give more opportunity for some of our guys to take American football to the next level, but it gives guys that are passionate about coaching, in my opinion, a job, man.
Coaching,
like NFL Academy were able to offer X amount of coaching jobs. Like that's full time now. These are guys that have to go into. They're teachers essentially. Now, not only are they coaches, they're teachers. These are guys that have to go in now on a Monday morning, either coach, do film, look after their guys, do what you have to do as a day-to-day coach, and then by 5-6 o'clock, oh damn, that's a full day's worth of work. And if you can get loads of those academies, not only are giving kids an opportunity, but you're giving budding and passionate coaches a chance to be like, actually, you know what, I'm passionate about coaching. I don't have to do a job that I don't like doing as a 9-to-5. I can apply to be a coach full time now, sort of thing. So,
word 100, because even off that, I think some of the coaches now at the NFL Academy are some have been senior players in our league. I think Victor Bamo from the Warriors, he's one of the coach there. We've got
Jerome, he's a coach there.
Yeah, you got Jerome.
No.
Who else you got?
Niles
Grant,
yeah.
he's a D coach there, so that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Just all Warriors players, yeah.
Nah, their D-line coach is not Warriors
You're
coach.
He's not Warriors, but most of them are Warriors. You're a coach.
Yeah,
You don't want to apply for NFL Academy.
Huh?
You don't want to apply for one of them.
Show me where I can apply
Right?
Yeah, you're
Make
right.
it fair.
You're right.
Make it fair. Don't make an under 19s Warriors team.
Yeah.
That's
Call it the
keeping
NFL
it
Academy.
easy now.
Nah,
Easy now.
you know what, yeah,
Hang on a
I'm not
minute.
gonna lie.
Filton.
You're right.
Book the listen.
No,
They're
he's
ready.
not.
He's not saying
Big
nothing
ball
bad.
final. Let's get going.
Exhibition
Wait, what do you
game,
mean?
Let's get
bro.
the
It's an
exhibition. We're ready.
game.
We'll do the commentary.
Yeah, you know,
Let's
we're
get
ready to
going.
be matching the day
Barbecue.
things, fam. Nah,
Listen, DJ,
come
let's
on.
make it happen.
Wait,
Let's make
explain
it.
what happened.
Don't get me. I think an exhibition game between the NFL Academy
Yeah,
of those who are of age
sell out.
Yeah.
to
Easy.
play
Sell out.
the Bristol Filton Pride Academy. I think that would be brilliant.
That's
for
a
the
highlight
People
game,
watch
man.
that, man.
Do you understand? That's
highlight
the
game.
level.
It is inevitable though, but
Yeah,
I think right now it's premature.
Yeah.
It is too premature right now.
I think if there was none of this happening,
Mm-hmm.
NFL Academy would have still been playing. Would have been just before. I think just before, if Warriors had a break, I think that game would have potentially been on the cards. Simply because a lot of those guys in the academy, so basically the academy took guys that can only do 1 year as well. So a lot of the guys in the academy, they would have had 1 year. They want to sort of put their stuff out there. They want to make. They want to make
16 to 19.
I think 16
The
to
age.
19.
Yeah.
Bracket.
Yeah.
Okay.
So a lot of those guys would have wanted to get tape or at least have a game to highlight and show what they've learnt or taken away from the academy. So I think a game this summer would have been on the cards, but
Oh man, to watch
it is
that
what it is
game.
because I coach
Massive.
two of the guys that are currently in the NFL Academy, and some of their tape I watch sometimes. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
bro,
But
like
these
Ballers,
these
innit?
academies, they're not essentially, but they are a form of investment in British talent as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah.
Because like Remy said, there's guys playing in the GFL or whatever in Europe, but there's also guys playing in this country right now, and they're like from the Filton Academy, from the under 19 teams, and they're starters. They're GB as well.
Yeah.
And I think that's what, we always talk about, how do we grow the game in the UK? We make the product better. You make the product better by guys starting younger, invest in this, invest in these kind of academies, guys that have already committed to the sport. There's a lot of under 19 players, not many of them carry on a sport later on
That's a good
because
point.
of limited opportunities.
Yeah.
But now look.
You're right.
Now look at the opportunities you can do. You can go to, Filton and wash out whatever team you want in the country.
And it's a good look, man. Like, again, we have to go back to F.A. Obada, man. Like, he's gone out there, he's doing a brilliant job at Carolina Panthers. And I remember being at the NFL game that he played at, and as I was going into his locker room towards the end of the game, I'm just seeing hundreds, if not thousands, of fans. F.A., come and sign. I'm thinking, damn, man, what a good
One
look.
day,
Imagine we had more Brits playing in the NFL or doing things in to that
One day.
capacity. I think it's brilliant, man.
Soon come, man. 100%.
Certainly
So
amount
I
of
think
time, yeah.
we'll wrap it up there, but like I think come the time when they have their first game, it's going to be a highlight game regardless.
Highlight.
And I think if they do open it to the public, it's going to be definitely an event that I'd love to cover.
100%. We will.
And just lastly, I rate the NFL Academy. Don't let anyone thinking that.
Yeah,
that I
cool.
don't.
Oh, of course, man.
Yeah, he
I'm
doesn't
just saying that
represent
them
us.
lot got the bangers.
Yeah.
They just need to go on tour, innit?
There you go.
That's
Yeah,
all. That's
yeah,
all.
yeah.
There you
Keep
go.
that analogy,
Basically,
innit?
I think
Talk is cheap.
for me personally, I'm not gonna lie, I'm gonna cop out and say I don't know who wins, but I think from this conversation, the majority have said that Filton have currently got that heavyweight championship
because
belt.
they played games.
Like they've got the belt. If you want it, come and
Take
get
that
it. sort
in.
of
Oh yeah,
thing.
yeah. Filton
Yeah.
definitely have the
Yeah.
belt. It's
Yeah.
the Academy just got here.
Yeah.
Like the CEO
That's it.
just got it. Like we said in
Exactly,
the previous
yeah, that's
pod.
a good point.
It's
That's a
not
good way of
like
putting it.
give it time,
Yeah.
see
Yeah.
what happens,
Yeah.
and then slate it.
And on that note, we're going to wrap up. Thank you for listening again. If you haven't already tuned into the previous episodes and watched the previous videos on YouTube, go have a look. You can find us on all the major podcast platforms and all the socials, and vote for X's and O's. Use the link in our bio. Thank you very much.
Peace.
Bye, friends.